again say happy Thanksgiving to everybody and happy Black Friday. But yes, we're going to jump into our main topics today. And our first main topic, again, just light and casual. I just want to talk about favorite holiday movies, right? It is the holidays now. We all just had Thanksgiving. And we're really going to start to get into that Christmas vibe and feels all in our feels here soon. Which is exciting, and it leads us just like it did in October for us, right, Shane? It leads us down this path of kind of Christmassy type movies and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. For me, I always like to start off with The Night Before. It seems to be my new Christmas go-to movie. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen The Night Before, it has Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and on and on and on. It stars the three of them, and it is great. Like I said, I like it so much that now for 4 or 5 years, it's been my go-to to like start Christmas off. And I usually actually watch it again, like to finish my Christmas feeling. But Shane, what's one for you that you know, like
just one? Do you want to go through a couple?
No, we're gonna. Okay. But what's the one that sticks out that you're like, oh, there's no way that Christmas goes by without me watching this?
The first one that comes from, that I always put on, and it's my Thanksgiving movie. I always start with a Thanksgiving movie to get me into the mood. Mm-hmm. So most people know It's a Wonderful Life, mm-hmm. and I love that movie, and we'll watch that Christmas night. Frank Capra, who directed that, is one of my very favorite directors, top 15 of all time. I love him. And one of my all-time favorite movies is It Happened One Night. And every Thanksgiving morning, we wake up at like 6 in the morning before we have to make food or anything. And my wife and I, we always watch It Happened One Night. And just fall in love all over again. It's an early romantic comedy, but it's got those Frank Capra feels. Sure. And, you know, there's a lot of his films. He's got 2 Christmas movies, Meet John Doe and It's a Wonderful Life, but all his movies have that spirit, especially always the underdog, the average person, so everyone relates to it. So, first thing that puts me in that holiday spirit, It Happened One Night.
For sure. Okay, and then I want to talk about most nostalgic from childhood.
Okay.
So for me, this one's a kind of an easy one, and in fact, me and my wife were just talking about it the other day. You know, about we have a daughter who's getting old enough to watch movies and enjoy them and stuff, and we were talking about what was our childhood Christmas movie that we would want to show her first. Mm-hmm. And for me, and we actually both had the same thing. Ironically, and for me, that was definitely what I watched the most as a kid during Christmas time, which was Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Mm-hmm. And we talk about all the time about going to New York on Christmas, and we will eventually. One of these years, we're going to go to New York on Christmas, and obviously that all comes from that movie, right? Mm-hmm. We even to this day, you know, he goes to Rockefeller
Plaza there with the ice cream
and the big ass giant like 200-foot tree they have there, and like all of that.
It's nothing like the movie. What's not in the movie is the crowds.
Sure. I understand, but you know, it's a very unique Christmas experience, and I know everyone is probably more of a Home Alone fan, but like given the choice, if I could never see one of those movies again, I would never see Home Alone again, and I would take Home Alone 2. That's how much I love it. But yeah, so and my wife again, she had the same thing. Hers was also Home Alone 2. What about you, Shane?
Without a doubt, my longest Christmas tradition. Every Christmas Eve, I watch Temple of Doom. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It all started when I grew up. We had HBO. Maybe that's why I became a big lover of films. And it seemed like for like 2 or 3 years, we always went to this Christmas party for like my entire life until I moved away for college. And it seemed like 2 or 3 years in a row, Temple of Doom was on. And I would always wait for my family. I couldn't wait to go to this Christmas party. It was at my best friend's house, my dad's best friend, his house. So, they were close family friends. And it always seemed like when I was waiting, Temple of Doom came on. And one year, I checked the listings and Temple of Doom wasn't on. So I told my mom, okay, you gotta go to Blockbuster.
Right,
you have to rent Temple of Doom. I gotta see this.
Right.
So she drops me off because it's my best friend's place, and she goes to Blockbuster because she's the sweetest mom in the world,
right,
and gets Temple of Doom. Well, she comes back and she hands me the cassette tape, and the box says Last Crusade.
Ah.
And I'm just like, well, I do love this movie. It'll do, exactly. But you know, that tradition died.
Right.
And so I go home, and it's kind of a bittersweet night.
Right, yeah, for sure.
So, you know, when I pop the case open, all right, let's watch Last Crusade. And I pop the case open, and inside, Temple of Doom.
Oh,
I kid you not. And so from that day forth, I was like 9, 10 years old, maybe even younger. I've never missed Temple of Doom on Christmas Eve.
That's a good one. Yeah, and then something that we talked about next, me and my wife, was what about Christmas animated movie that we would want, that was nostalgic to us, that we'd want to show our daughter. And then for me, this became kind of difficult, actually. So here's what I remember. I never had a lot of big family Christmas stuff except when I was really young. So from 1 to like 7, those years we would go out of town, and like it was like a family reunion. Like everyone was living in one house, and there was us kids were everywhere, and we had this one big section in the living room, and there was a tube TV in there with a VCR, and there was 4 tapes, and those 4 tapes were our Christmas as kids for like 3 days, and we would watch those 4 things over and over again, and that was the 3 Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, and then the last one was A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Like the Jack Skellington thing. I always hated that.
Oh,
they would put that on, and I would be like, "Oh, please put Skywalker back on. Like put Luke back on the screen. I don't want to see this." So I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but I do think it was a big part of my childhood. But I did see a movie when I was like 10. I think it was 2002. So I was 10 years old, and it has stuck with me now, and I watch it every year as well. And it is my favorite Christmas animated movie, and that is 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler. And I know it's not really a Christmas movie.
It's a holiday, winter holiday. That works.
It's more of like a Hanukkah or whatever.
Hanukkah.
Yeah. But God, I love that movie. There's so many things I love about it, and it was in the height of loving Adam Sandler for me.
A lot of great cameos in there too.
Yeah, right. And a lot of great cameos by Adam Sandler. right.
Very true.
Tons of very good Adam Sandler cameos. My favorite. Have you seen it? You've seen it?
Oh yeah.
My favorite character is the old man, right? The ref.
Oh, okay.
That remembers him as a kid that was good at basketball, and so he wants to try to help him, which is also Adam Sandler, right? Yeah. I really, really enjoy that movie. I remember probably like the second time I had watched it, it was the year after it came out. I was watching it again because my mom had actually bought it for me, and I remember laughing one of the hardest times I ever laughed in my life, and this is when I think it really stuck with me that how much I love this movie. And he was Adam Sandler's character is going through a lot, and the town is it's a small town, and they all know who he is, and they've all kind of turned on him, and he's like the outcast now. So it's Christmas night, and the whole town's gathered in this one building, celebrating together. And he decides he's going to take the bus to leave town because, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this. And so they're driving. They get like just a little bit, and the bus breaks down and pulls over the side of the road. And Adam Sandler's character's like, what the hell is going on? And the bus driver gets out. He comes back in with a thumbtack, and he goes, "Wouldn't you know it? One thumbtack popped all 10 tires." And I don't know why, but as a kid, dude, oh my God, I almost died. I laughed so much at that line. So yeah, for me, my favorite animated holiday Christmas movie, I got to go with 8 Crazy Nights. What about you?
It's so funny that you mentioned seeing it as a kid because one of my first jobs was working at the movie theater, and I remember when that movie came out. When I was a projectionist at the movie theater. My favorite animated movie, without a doubt, and it's funny that you bring that up because Jesse's been weighing in on this, and all the movies he's brought up are all animated. He talks about the original Grinch, the Rudolph animated movies.
Well, aren't those
stop
are those
motion?
not, yeah, okay,
Yeah, stop, which is what Nightmare Before Christmas is. It's stop motion.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right.
It's just so well
good.
done.
Right.
It's almost that Wallace and Gromit level,
Right,
which I think is the greatest
Right.
stop motion
For sure.
animation out there. In fact, they got some holiday
Yeah.
films. So if you haven't seen those are worth checking out. But my favorite animated holiday Christmas movie, without a doubt, is Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh wow.
Not only is it nostalgic, but I mean, it's everything that it should be. You know, it's you know, it's short too. You know, so you know, kids can sit down and love it. Adults can still love it. But to me, it's all about what the holidays are about, and it's, you know, Charlie Brown trying to discover the meaning of Christmas and discovering its love, family, and friends. And I mean, you can't get any better than that. And, you know, one of the sickening things is ever since Schultz died, Charles M. Schultz, he wasn't, did you notice when you were really young growing up, there wasn't a lot of Charlie Brown and Snoopy, anything?
When I was young?
Oh, yeah, like really young.
Oh, yeah, really young, yes.
Really, that's because he rarely licensed. It would have to
Right.
be very, you know, he'd have to, you know.
Right, but as I got older, it became
Once
quite
he
the
passed
opposite.
away.
Yeah. Well, what year was that? Do you remember?
98, 99?
Yeah, see, yeah, right around then, Charlie Brown became
Yes.
Charlie Brown. Yeah.
And you know that the whole idea of Charlie Brown Christmas is anti-materialism.
Right.
Not saying that, you know, materialism is bad, but during Christmas it is.
Yeah.
You know, it should be about
Yeah.
giving rather than getting.
Yeah.
And so then just after Schultz dies, to go around and see like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree on sale and every marketable type thing, and it's just like, oh, you're missing the point of
Right.
that movie,
Right.
and it really hurt. But yeah, that's my go-to animated holiday.
For sure. Okay. So, again, I know for a lot of you guys, like I said, from when I was a kid, the Star Wars original trilogy was what you guys were probably forced to watch as kids too. So I know that's big for you guys. But the one last thing I want to talk about that was really big for me, nostalgic wise during Christmas, was as time evolved, Star Wars became gone. Like, it kind of didn't exist anymore, right? I mean, we didn't get the prequel until like 99, 98 or whatever. So, and while it was gone, there was a point where my family started watching something different on Christmas. And that was the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And it became kind of a very Christmas nostalgia thing to me. I don't know why, but we all would do the same thing. I was a lot older now, you know, I was 14, 15, but I was more into it. I could understand it more, and we were all gathered around watching Lord of the Rings during Christmas time, which again is, it feels so normal, but it feels also so not right or something, right? But
well, you know, we'll if there's a point where my wife and I do watch Lord of the Rings, it is around Christmas time. You know, and I think there's a lot of the reasons, because not only does it have those feels,
it's the feeling. It's the main
I also
thing.
think it's, you know, we watch the extended editions too.
Sure, me too.
It's definitely a lot easier to sit down for 3.5 hours and not go anywhere when it's blistering cold outside
and
and you
it's
don't want to
it's
go
the
outside.
holiday,
Yeah,
everything's
you want to
closed,
stay in
right? Yeah.
anyway. But you know, if
Yeah.
it's June and it's beautiful outside, it's hard to watch a 3.5 hour movie. It's like, man, I kind of want
Right.
to go do something else now.
Right, for sure.
So I think it fits the
Yes.
It also came out originally in the theaters Christmas time.
Yes,
You know,
right.
December 12th.
Right,
You know,
right.
dates around
Yep,
the second
yep.
weekend of December, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and again, it just carries that feeling of what I would say Christmas makes you feel like. Lord of the Rings makes me feel
And
like.
I think it's also a family movie. And
Yeah.
when people think of family movies, they think of, you know, younger audiences, you know, possibly
Yeah,
Disney
but
made.
my uncle,
But
who
real
was
family
45
movie, exactly.
and 55, they were sitting
loved
there
it.
enjoying
Exactly.
it
That's
more.
a real family movie.
Right,
Is that
right.
it doesn't matter if you're 90 years old
Yeah.
or 9 months.
Yeah,
Everyone's loving it.
we're over here, you know, going crazy about the Battle of Two Towers, and they're looking over at us going, "You guys don't even know how good this is," and we didn't.
Yeah.
But we were all enjoying. I mean, even my grandma, she was 70 years old, sitting there watching those damn movies. movies. Like I said, so I just wanted to bring that up too, because I know that it kind of evolved into being a big thing for a lot of other families too. And then lastly, we just want to say, of course, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. I think that's pretty obvious.
I think enough people.
We don't need to debate.
Yeah, I think
that.
you even agree with this. If enough people say something is something, it's that something, right?
Right, unless they're all idiots.
Unless it's a Die Hard, apparently. Die Hard, definitely a Christmas movie. We will watch that possibly Christmas Eve, the 23rd, something like that.
I usually like to kick my November off and ending my October with The Shining, because I kind of consider it a
Me too, us
Christmassy
too.
movie. Yeah.
When we get our first like heavy snow, that's when we're like, let's do Shining.
Right. Yeah. If we get one of those, that's perfect for it. Yeah. I have a feeling there might not be any snow this year, but we'll see, hopefully. But we guys, let us know what holiday movies did you watch. I know Jesse brought up in the chat the Rudolph, like you brought that up. Frosty the Snowman was another big one. I mean, obviously, we all grew up with those. Those were very big.
Even our parents grew up with those.
Right. Yeah, right. And those were very big for everyone. They were also on TV.
I think they were the first
broadcast
television
TV.
Christmas specials.
Right. Yeah.
Because,
and they were available to
before,
everyone.
Yeah.
You rich or poor, if you had a TV with an antenna, you could have tuned in to watch it. So I think.
Well, it's really cool how Christmas, does that. It's one collective, and movies like It's a Wonderful Life. That did poorly in the box office theaters.
Right.
It came out in 46, I think, bombed. Nobody cared, and then all of a sudden in the 60s, NBC starts playing it Christmas Eve every year, and then all of a sudden it's now a part of our culture. And so, TV, Christmas Eve TV definitely, changed the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and I think a lot of people are still looking for their own. I think it's an easy hit. It's kind of like whenever I think about if I was a musician, I'd do a Christmas song because it's guaranteed to play every
Christmas
year.
album.
Yeah, Christmas album,
sure.
right?
If I had the vocal chops, no doubt.
Right? I hardly ever listen to Boys to Men, but if it's Christmas time, I'm putting that album on.
A perfect example of what you're saying, the proof positive that you're factually correct is, do you know what the highest selling Christmas album of all time is?
Kenny G's Christmas album?
Michael Bublé's Christmas
album.
There
you go. I knew it was going to be one of those. Yeah, absolutely.
It came out like a few years ago.
Oh, wow. And it already did that well?
Come on. I mean, a few years ago, like 2012, 14 or whatever.
10 years ago.
Sure. Yeah. But still, like, it became the number one, like, a while ago. I mean, and when it did, it was like, what?
There you go.
But there it is. You get a guy with a really good vocal chops, and then you just want. I mean, I go back to, and it doesn't even got to be a guy that can sing well. It could be a guy that sings, uniquely, like, what's his name? Oh, Blue Eyes.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, Sinatra's a perfect example of his. I love his Christmas stuff.
He's a great singer.
Yeah, because you could listen to that dude sing the phone book.
Nat King Cole, Dean Martin,
Doris
all
Day.
these great,
there's a bunch of
amazing great singers, and the only reason we still listen to them today
Christmas.
A lot of time is Christmas.
I mean, even
Bing Crosby. I love Bing Crosby.
Even Mariah Carey, as great as she is, what plays every year is that All I Want for Christmas. Right?
There you go.
I mean, it's crazy. And we'll get in more when we talk on the holiday special about the nostalgic of Christmas. I do forget about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. When I became older and we stopped going to family stuff,
that was your movie.
Was our small, my dad, my mom, my brother, my uncle, and whoever else came to our house. That's what we would watch was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, our big Christmas movie, our very favorite Christmas movie, and we save it for Christmas, and sometimes we watch it 2 or 3 times during the month. But it's without a doubt Scrooged. Bill Murray.
There's another one. There's so many classics.
Very favorite, and we quote that movie all year round. It's ridiculous,
dude. I know. Just from talking to you about the Guardian special before we started the show, I could tell you're not as big of a fan of Christmas movies as you are of like Halloween movies, right?
No, I disagree.
Okay, if you feel that way, then
big
trust
holiday.
me when I say this.
No,
more than the Guardian special, watch Spirited.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I dug it.
Okay.
I'm not.
I do love Will Ferrell.
I'm not a musical person at all. But yes, first of all, haven't seen Will Ferrell this good in a long time.
What's funny is I was going to end up watching that movie anyway.
Right, me too, right? It reminded me of Jim Carrey being in Sonic again. You're just like, thank God, there he is. There's my boy. And that's how I felt about what we got hey, we got a little bit of Will Ferrell back, and then Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. He's great as always.
Never miss.
And there's a play on that stuff where we thought Will Ferrell wouldn't be only one of the ghosts.
Well, he's like one of the main. It's like his plot.
Yes,
they're trying to save his life.
Yeah, but he becomes more than just the ghost of Christmas Present and stuff. But yeah, and he plays a bigger role than I thought. It's their movie, and my wife and daughter watched it, and lots of times my daughter would get up and dance. She was singing.
That makes those movies a lot more fun.
Yeah, for sure. So it made me like that. It felt really Christmassy too, and like I said, I'm trying to get in that mood. It's so much easier, at least for me, to jump right into the Halloween thing. Like, I mean, 3 days before it's October, I'm like, it's Halloween.
Actually, I was reading something that it's actually better mental health wise, just because Christmas, you can't escape it, right? I mean, it's everywhere. So the quicker you embrace it, and the quicker you start putting up decorations or getting in the mood, actually, the more positive and happier you are through the month, because it can be a depressing month when you're not feeling it and it can't go away. So you might as well just lean into it early and start watching Spirited. Sounds like a perfect way to get it going.
For real, like I said, my review's up on the channel, and like I said, overall, I thought it was definitely like a romp.
Yeah,
and
it looked like it.
Yeah, but for what it was, and it did stuff that I liked, because I swear to God, we're like 20 minutes in, and I look at a music scene thing or whatever you want to call it, a musical performance part, and I look over at my wife and I'm like, okay, I'm telling you now, if they do another music thing in the next 15 minutes, I'm done with the movie. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch a whole thing with just
I want to see a man sing a song.
And about that time, something happens with Will Ferrell's character, and he's like, starts to, do the thing where he's about to start singing, and one of the other main characters is like, whoa, bro.
It's too soon. That's pretty good.
And then it made me be like, okay, so they know. All right, cool.
It's your kind of musical.
Yeah, right. I liked it. Yeah, so go check it out for sure, especially, like I said, if you're into holiday movies and you watch anything because it's the holiday, definitely check it out. But with that down, guys, like I said, let us know in the comment section below, what's your guys' favorite movie? What did you guys watch a lot when you were kids? What's your favorite animated? I expect to hear a lot of different stuff. I know, like I said, that Nightmare Before Christmas is big for a lot of people and stuff. So, yeah, definitely let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below.